Hi everyone, welcome to the muster drill. I'm Scott, and hundreds of thousands of cruise passengers have had their personal data stolen. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I want to talk about this data breach that occurred at Carnival headquarters in 2019 or early 2020 that almost no one knows about. So in 2019 or early 2020, Carnival became aware that almost 200,000 passengers and employees' personal data had been compromised in a data breach that apparently had been happening for 10 months. Now, we all deal with data breaches. Data breaches have been happening for decades now, and we're all become accustomed to the major inconvenience of the entire situation. And in my opinion, this wouldn't be happening, or it wouldn't be the big deal that it is, if these companies weren't holding on to our personal information so that they can sell them 6 different ways and make even more money off of their patrons and their consumers. But I think the thing that upsets me the most about this particular data breach is not only did it happen in the computer system of a company that is part of an industry that has written the book on avoiding liability, but that Carnival is not being made to pay any restitution to its victims. So the data that had been compromised were names and addresses, phone numbers, some medical history information, as well as driver's license and passport numbers, and for the employees, some of their social security numbers. So in a typical situation like this, it ends up being that the lawyers get millions of dollars and the actual victims end up with, what, $2.67? But this situation is even worse than that, because Carnival is not being asked to make any restitution to its victims. Rather, Carnival has to pay a fine, and in my opinion, a very small fine given the circumstances, of $1.25 million. And that fine is going to be split up between the 26 states whose attorney generals got together and filed this lawsuit to begin with. So I'm going to throw up some video here from a few local broadcasts in the states that were involved. All the states are getting different amounts of the $1.25 million fine. And I'm not exactly sure how they arrived at which state gets what amount of money. But in my opinion, it doesn't matter, because really who should be getting the money is the people who had all of their personal data stolen. So before I go any further, here are the news broadcasts.
New at 6, Carnival Cruise Line says it had a data breach back in March. The South Florida-based company confirms hackers gained limited access to its IT systems. According to Carnival, they acted quickly and were able to prevent further unauthorized access. Some of what was accessed was personal information of guests, employees, and crew for Carnival Cruise Line's Holland America Line and Princess Cruises. Those affected have been contacted by the company. Carnival also said there's a low chance of the data being misused.
Nevada has joined the $1.25 million settlement over the 2019 Carnival Cruise Line data breach. Attorney General Ford making that announcement today. That breach compromised the personal information of 180,000 Carnival employees and customers nationwide, including nearly 3,000 people who live in Nevada. Our state will receive a little under $25,000 from that settlement.
Let's talk about cruises. A settlement coming our way thanks to a data breach at Carnival Cruise Lines. South Carolina will be receiving more than $20,000. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson says the money is part of a settlement with attorneys general from 45 other states and also Carnival Cruise Line, which of course has a port in Charleston. The settlement comes after a data breach back in March of 2020 when somebody got the access to the names, addresses, passport information, and driver's license number and more from Carnival's database. AG Wilson says 2,259 people in South Carolina were impacted by that data breach.
Now, one of the broadcasts mentioned that this was a one-time data breach and that they quickly took care of it. And of course, they don't think that anybody was using the information because, after all, why would hackers hack the system and steal all of that information just so that what? They could just see if they could do it, or did they steal that information so that they could use it? But in any event, the information that I saw in a different unrelated article indicated that it actually happened again in 2021. Pretty upsetting to me. So another thing I wanted to talk about briefly is an announcement by Carnival that they're calling Costa by Carnival. Now, we don't have a lot of the details about it yet, so when we do get more details, we'll talk about it in a future video. But it looks like Carnival wants to add a new, unique element to the US cruising market. And what they're going to do is they're going to bring 2 Vista-class ships from their sister line, Costa, which is an Italian cruise line. They're going to bring those ships over to the U.S. markets, both in New York and L.A. So they're not going to transform these ships into a traditional Carnival ship. They're going to leave them exactly the way they are. But what they're going to do is they're going to offer an Italian-themed cruise experience without having to go to Italy. So it sounds like a really interesting experience, and I can't wait to get more details about it, and we'll talk about it again in a future video. It looks like some of the staffing issues that have been plaguing the cruise industry during the restart are starting to subside a little bit. It turns out there was a deal made with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection to allow certain crew members who've had expired visas to still be able to come to the U.S. on those expired visas and join the ships to help with the staffing issues. So I think that's really great news. And as a result, Carnival announced that they will be bringing back the Diamond and Platinum VIFP party. So that's great news. I haven't actually been able to attend any of those parties, so I'm looking forward to that. So recently when I was on the Magic, Carnival offered us some drink coupons in lieu of that party. So I think I would like to keep those drink coupons. I don't know if we'll get to do that or not, but I am looking forward to attending that party. Now, despite the increase in staffing, Cina del Capitano is still going to be closed until further notice, so hopefully it won't be too much longer and they'll be able to get that back open for dinner as well. And then MSC also announced that they were bringing back their gala nights, which is kind of their leveled up formal night that they do on all of their ships. They had just been doing that on limited ships, but now they're going to be doing it fleet wide because they've got increased staff now. So that's great news as well. And the last thing I wanted to mention today was the annual Day of the Seafarer. Now, June 25th is the Day of the Seafarer, and most of the cruise lines use that day to honor the hardworking crew. And when I was on the Carnival Magic recently, I made it a point to go up to the crew members often and just thank them for what they were doing and all of the hard work that they put in every day. And most of them were very appreciative of that, and it offered an opportunity to strike up a conversation with them, which I enjoy so much. So if you didn't know, June 25th is the Day of the Seafarer, and if you happen to be on a cruise ship on June 25th, I would encourage you to take the opportunity to go up to the crew members and thank them for all the hard work they do. I know they'll appreciate it. So I think that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you very much for tuning in. And if you like this video, don't forget to click that like button. And then don't forget to click the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. You click it once and you're done. It'll really help us out a lot. And then don't forget to click that notification bell so that you know every time we upload a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.